the super wood that's 10 times stronger than steel. How'd they find out about me? Oh, shit, we're live. Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
And I'm Peyton Clarkson.
Peyton Clarkson. How the hell are you?
Keith, I'm doing fantastic. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. We do a spin-off show at keithandthegirl.com/VIP called Chew&A, and our buddy Newsy Chew, he was born with that name, comes from the Chews. Long story. But anyway, we go back in time over the last 20 years of Keith and the Girl of that specific date. So we just recorded last night, October 16th. We went back to every October 16th, back to 2005. Who were the guests? What's our relationship with them now? What do we talk about? What's the news of the world? And Peyton comes up more than a few times. And I keep thinking, what the fuck is going on? Why haven't I talked to Peyton in so goddamn long? Q&A, real fun last night with the Moros, Shoe Booty, Neil, B. Jason, Matthew. Make sure you check this out, keithandthegirl.com/VIP. I had on recently Tim Diamond, a comedian I haven't talked to in years, and it was brought up that he won a KATG award for his Harry Potter rap that he did. You can hear it at keithandthegirl.com/awards. And in that year of award winning was Peyton Clarkson. So
yeah.
That's right. You can check out that clip. First of all, Jennifer writes, I went to the KATG awards page. I reheard Tim D's Harry Potter rap, just as good as I remember. Yo, I miss Peyton. And I reheard the Superman encouragement at keithandthegirl.com/awards. I need an update. Do you remember this? Offhand?
Yeah, I do. And in fact, when you were going through the awards with Tim on the episode, I was thinking, man, I feel like that was around the same time, you know, that I was presented.
Yeah, that was
well.
That happened to be 2012. And just a quick reminder, and then we'll catch up with Peyton. Peyton was going through a time. Maybe a comedy, life in general, the prices of New York City, all giving them hives without exaggeration. This is me when I was trying to keep his spirits up. To be clear and catch you up on this, you might need it for the clip. Peyton and I, and it's not bragging, we're just sharing facts, are world comedy champions.
These are facts.
Separate years, but in the running for who is the funniest person in the fucking world. I'm talking Chris Rock, Jerry Seinfeld. So anyway, we did our thing separate year. We happen to be the champions. So we have a connection. So when I see my buddy down in the dumps, I got to step up. It's almost our job. Here's what you got to remember, Peyton. I think you're forgetting this. You are a world comedy laugh-off winner. I know that's a big deal because I am one as well. And to hear you talk like this makes me want to slap you in your face.
Yeah.
This is world comedy laugh-off winner.
Champion.
Of the world.
First place.
Not physics, granted. It's comedy, but it's the world.
And it's soon to be a Nobel category.
If it was needlepoint of the world, I'd go, okay, so what are you crying about? You take a look at that, you dust that off, and you put away the computer. She's right not to know it's called Tecmo Bowl. Tecmo Ball, who gives a fuck?
It's a great game.
It sounds fun.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's remember who you are, Peyton. What you're saying is offensive to everybody that screamed for you that day in the scream meter. Okay? All right.
The perspective I've been lacking.
I talked about the World Comedy Laugh-Off. It's on my CD, Children's Party Songs. You can hear what I'm talking about. But it's a big deal. It's life-changing in this. I don't like hearing what I'm hearing today.
Yeah.
Okay? It'd be like, you know what this is like? Who's the guy in the wheelchair? Smartest guy of all time?
Christopher
Reeve. This reminds me of the great Christopher Reeve. And if people said to him, Christopher Reeve's like, what did I do? Like, what did you do? You were Superman.
Yeah.
What did you do? How about you take out the cape? Could you hand it to me? Okay, I'll hand you the cape.
Yeah.
Actually, put it on me. I can't move. Okay, so
Right.
put it on him, and I don't want to hear about these fucking horses anymore. It's the death of me. I mean, it's not your fault they threw Richard Pryor in the movie with you, but that's pretty cool. You're Superman, the greatest man of all time.
Now wipe your chin and act like it.
Right. Okay, I'll wipe it. But the point is, let us not forget what you were. You were Kal-El, for God's sake. And just because Penn Jillette named his kid Kal-El doesn't take away the fact
Which one's that? The one that talks or doesn't talk?
that Kal-El is Superman. Now, which one's
Penn talks.
I is Nicolas Cage anyway, so it doesn't matter. But my point is,
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking's, I'm sure,
He was Superman.
was Superman. How do you think he knows about all those planets?
Yeah.
But now he goes, I don't know what to do with my life. You're like, well, you figured out what life is.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to bum you out today.
But
Okay?
get back on that horse.
Hey, get on that first, Steve.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now say it. Now say it.
Get back on.
Say
Oh,
it. No, Peyton. Slow down.
okay.
Okay? Remember?
I am a world comedy laugh off them apples.
In Goodwill Hunting, he didn't cut him off. He waited and then he repeated.
Okay.
Okay?
It's not my fault.
Right. No. I'm talking here, Peyton. Okay, ready? Say, I am Superman.
I'm Superman.
I am Superman.
Superman.
I am Superman.
I'm Superman.
You're not.
Okay.
But you could be.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now get on that horse. We made magic. We made magic.
I mean, those words are just as true today as they ever were.
I do want to, not to make it about me, but how did the advice help you? Did you go, you know what? I am fucking Peyton Clarkson, and I'm going to grab this fucking world by the fucking balls. What has happened since that great support?
Well, I think like everybody else, my motivation ebbs and flows. My feelings of superiority over other people, it ebbs and flows. You know,
You ended you ended up leaving New York City.
yeah, yeah. I left New York around 2019, 2018.
Okay. And what made you do that? I mean, I don't miss it for a second.
Yeah, my mother got sick. You know, when I was listening to Tim, you know, there was a lot of there were a lot of parallels there that I could feel it, and you know, he definitely was at peace with where he was, and based on everything that happened, you know, why I came home. My mother passed this October 1st, made a year.
At that time.
No, earlier this month, made a year since she passed away.
Oh, shit. Well, sorry to
Yeah, yeah. And so I was able to have, you know, like, what would that be? Like 5 good years.
Right.
And I have no regrets about it. And when I think about New York, you know, and people ask me often, you know, do you miss it? And maybe you can relate to this. I miss being 25 in New York.
Right.
You know, like I don't think I miss New York. I miss being 25. I miss just like the energy and having the energy. But, you know, you spend enough time away from it and you realize, God, you don't have to live like that.
Right.
You know, so.
And we're probably romanticizing it too, that it was cool that I was getting up at 3 p.m. in a hostel to go to whatever fucking bullshit job, you know.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of rose-tinted glasses, as it were.
Yeah.
But I'm still Superman, dude.
That's right.
Still Superman, dude.
So do you miss, do you do comedy? You're from Alabama, right? This is where you're from when you bring up your mom, Mobile, Alabama. And you went back there. So first of all, do you run into people you went to school with, for example? Are there any, not that there'd be any continuing beef per se, but I could see moving back to my hometown and I'm 50 and I'm like, oh, you're the bully. What do I do now? Because I can't fucking let that go. You know,
Yeah.
do you run into anything that's weird?
You know, my track record with codependency and being a people pleaser is long. So there weren't any burned bridges necessarily that I had to mend when I came back home. But yeah, I do see, you know, a lot of them, you know, and
Right.
you know, I remember, you remember the documentary comedian Seinfeld and Orny
Yes.
Adams. And at one point, Seinfeld's talking to him at the bar and Orny is lamenting that, all of his friends, they're moving up in the corporate world and they have these families. And Jerry, I used to just draw so much inspiration when Jerry just kind of like,
Who cares?
What are you talking about? Like,
Do you want that? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at what you're doing, you know? I found a lot of inspiration in Jerry's words back then, and I find a lot of resonance with Orney's words now. And it's not that I would not go back and trade anything, but it is hard to walk away from what your identity was. And I think that was the hardest part about walking away from stand-up is that over time you get used to people saying, "Oh my God, you're a comedian. That's so cool. Like, what's it like? You do that?" And now, it's not to beat a dead horse you're supposed to get back up on, but Superman, like when he gives up his powers for Lois Lane and he's in the diner and he just gets his ass kicked. Like, I remember when I first moved back, like, going to talk to a girl or something, and I was just a guy. I had not been up on stage or anything like that, and I had no identity. And I think that's something that everybody kind of struggles with, is kind of. But the difference is, it's so binary with comedy. You either do it or you don't. It's not a dabble thing. And so when you walk away from it, like you walk away from it, like
it doesn't sound like you miss the hustle.
I miss being 25 and doing the hustle.
I see.
Again, that's kind of part of it, I think, man. It's like, but I don't miss rose-tinted glasses, man. And it's easy to make myself think that, like, it was so much better then. But you knew me. You and Hemda knew me as like an angst-riddled guy all the time.
Right.
And I can still do that.
Right.
I didn't have to give that up.
Right. Some in Alabama can still bother me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can.
What do you do for a living now?
I work in hospice care now.
Is that, how do you find yourself into that? Was it related to your mom being sick or
no, not at all. It was a coincidence. My entire family's in medicine, right? My father is a physician. My mother was a nurse. My brother's in hospital administration. My sister's a PA. And then I cursed at strangers for a living, right? It was real black sheep matter kind of thing.
Right.
And so when I moved back here, I bartended for maybe the first year. I had a terrible job doing property management for a while at vacation rentals down at the beach. And then my brother took mercy on me and got me an interview to do hospice. And it's really, it's been a beautiful thing. I would not want to make this about all of that, but I could go on about just the experiences that I've had with hospice care and with patients. There's a reality when people are faced with their own imminent demise. Like we all have it in the back of our head, but when you're forced to confront it, there's some cool things that come out of people's mouths, some perspective that's healthy.
Is it too deep to say that it gives you purpose?
Yeah, it gives me purpose. It does. Those
like
moments
it fulfills you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those moments when I'm able to like really help people, because it's got a negative connotation about what it is. People are terrified of it because, when hospice first came into the United States, only oncology could refer. And so what everybody learned about hospice is that my dad came home, my mom came home, they doped them up on morphine for 3 days, and then they were gone.
Right.
And then Medicare opened it up to all these different, life-limiting diseases, COPD, dementia, Alzheimer's, things like that, where people can be on hospice for a long time. The thing about our healthcare system, which I find frustrating, is that there are a lot of people that can't afford to keep themselves dignified when they're really sick.
Right.
And if they can open up their door and let me go in and talk to them, within 3 hours I can have every bit of equipment, all this stuff in there, and let the wife get back to being the wife instead of the one that's, cleaning up,
right.
diapers and that sort of thing for their loved one. That's some real meaning. For sure.
Your role mostly is what? Between the doctors and the patient? Between doctors' insurance and patient?
Yeah, between the healthcare provider and the patient.
Okay.
And so when a healthcare provider deems a patient appropriate, for the guidelines that Medicare puts forth, then I go out and talk to them and tell them what it is. I tell them what it isn't more than anything because everybody's terrified of it. And, you know, just I'm not good at being real pushy, so I feel like, you know, coming at them from a very sincere place helps. And I can tell you that when people are terminal, their family and friends oftentimes don't know how to speak to them. I think we've all experienced that, right?
Sure.
Everybody's like had a friend or a loved one that's dying, and you just don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And so I'm able to go in, and I think it's from years of stand-up, you know, there's not a crowd I'm really afraid of. And so to go into them and talk to them like they were talked to before their diagnosis, I think oftentimes is refreshing for them.
Okay, I'm picturing your people pleasing is like, nah, you're fine. The
That
regular
part-
hospitals just don't have rooms here with
Yeah.
these wackos.
That's a problem. I do have that problem, especially in the beginning. It was really hard to like cut to the chase.
You're like, what do you think's going on? Well, I think I'm dying. That's right.
And I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that.
Right.
Who told you that?
Right. That's you're like, that's what you said.
Yeah. No backsies. No backsies.
Do you find does people pleasing affect when you have to deal with the insurance companies? Do you ever have to find yourself begging? Are you hitting walls and they're like, look, it is bullshit. There's nothing I can do on this end.
That fortunately is not much of an issue with hospice care.
Okay.
It's a pretty comprehensive benefit, and you know the majority of people are over 65, so they're on Medicare. And even if they have like a Medicare Advantage plan, it automatically for the hospice benefit reverts over to Part A, which means we don't have to turn down really anyone.
Okay.
And everything becomes free for them. That's the cool thing is like,
They're like
everything.
here's the good news. My patient's about to die. All right. So now I can actually do something.
Yeah. And, you know, we get in there and get the supplies, and if they decide to come off hospice, they don't have to pay anything back. Now, it's a misstatement to say it's free. And I think I may have heard on the show, I think you suggested that your mother is on hospice care.
She passed away, but yes,
she did?
was. Yeah, dementia in a way where she couldn't even talk. She's in a wheelchair.
Yeah,
it's all connected. And as we're talking to her, at one point, she's like backing up in a wheelchair. And my siblings it's me and my other siblings, and my siblings are like making excuses, like, no, she recognized us. I'm like, okay, whatever you want to think, but she was fucking scared in that room. I don't think we did her a favor visiting, quite frankly, and it was the saddest thing to see. Yeah.
Well, it's without a doubt. I mean, such a cruel disease, and that's almost cliche to say, but you know, with my mother, I was fortunate. I don't know if that's the way to say it, but it was quick. It was unexpected, but it was a ripping of the Band-Aid. But you know, your experience, you probably the misconception that it's free. That chunk they've taken out of every paycheck we've ever paid for it. So it's not as if it's free, it's just prepaid. Right. And this is one instance where the American healthcare system really steps up and handles it.
Right. Yeah. Did your mom, was she losing it mentally, or is that unrelated in your case?
It was unrelated. That was the initial reason I went home, though.
Okay.
Is that she called me crying one night and was just saying, I'm slipping, and I know I'm slipping, and I'm scared. And I had a show down in Birmingham the following week anyway, and my lease was expiring in New York, and it was kind of like in Forrest Gump, like and I promise I'm not going to relate everything back to Forrest Gump. It's just apropos right now. But that scene where he's on the boat eating, you know, and the CB comes on and says, Forrest, your mama's sick, and he just jumps in the water and starts swimming towards the shore. That's what it was like, man. I got that call, and it was like, if it didn't fit in my car, it didn't come with me. And I drove down to Birmingham. I did the shows there, and then continued another 5 hours down to Mobile.
Did slipping mean mental, or?
Yeah. And I don't know if it was, and I've thought about this. I don't know if it was her being dramatic, you know, or, I mean, she definitely. But you know, you get up into your mid-70s, and everybody has memory issues where they wish they were sharper. So I don't know if she was overblowing that, but at the end of the day, I thought, well, Am I going to wait until the phone call is real and then come down when there's no more time?
Right.
Or do I want to go ahead and go down there, scope it out for myself, and then be there while she's still her?
I just went to, I have a little walk-in closet between the bathroom and my bedroom, and I went in there to get something but I actually went into the bathroom. And I'm
Yeah.
like, why am I in the fucking bath? Oh, right here. So I think that happens always to everybody, but maybe always is a big word, but enough. But anyway, I regret that my mom, I remember more than a few times going, I walked into a room and I forgot why I'm there. And I'm like, I know, I do
Yeah.
it all the fucking time. And she's like, yeah, I don't know. It's and I didn't do anything. What could I have done? Give her another puzzle to do. But looking
Right.
back, that was her saying she's slipping, and I didn't catch it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think my mom didn't code it, right? She was crying. She was bawling.
Right.
She was dramatic. She had a couple of martinis.
see.
She didn't leave any ambiguity about it.
Right.
Whether it was real or imagined, that part is still. But I don't think it serves you to lament your oversight there.
Again, what could I have done? I don't know, but I don't know, an extra carrot or something, So I don't know what helps, but I'm like,
Yeah.
because she didn't want to upset us looking back, but I think she was kind of saying, now, fuck my dad for not sharing this with us, but he would have had to see a lot more. But yes, I think she was trying to say and was too nice about it. I remember even like 9/11, and I'm in New York, and she calls me, and she's like, "So I saw in the news, huh? That was crazy." I'm like, "That's 8 blocks away. Yeah, that was fucking crazy."
Yeah. God bless parents and and Curb Your Enthusiasm when Larry goes home and the dad just didn't want to tell him that his mom had died.
Right.
Yeah, she's not here, Larry. She didn't want to bother you. She didn't want to bother you. You're doing your thing. You're successful. I missed the funeral. You're busy. She knew you were busy.
I remember in New York, I don't remember if it was just work in general or a relationship, but more than once, I think you had hives that used to pop up, right? When's the last time that happened?
I'm in the throes of it now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's on average, I think it'll come for like 3 years, wreck my life, and then go away as quick as it came and stay gone with no medication, no treatment, and then 2 years later it'll come back, and then it'll be gone for 7 years. Then 5 years later it'll come back, and so this February will make 2 years of it back. It sucks.
Is it stress then?
So they've determined it's autoimmune.
Okay.
And stress certainly exacerbates it, right? There are things that I can do that can make it worse, but it is not the underlying cause. And in fact, I remember I was sitting with my wife, and it had been so long, it had been years since I had him or thought about him even, really. And, well, not thought about him. You know how like when people talk about when you have a cold and you're like, I'll never take breathing for granted again?
Yeah.
And then you get well and you forget all about it.
Sure.
These hives have never been like that. I have been grateful every
Right.
time they're not there. They're so debilitating. But I had met my wife. We had been living together. It had just never come up. And one evening, I remember, so it was February, almost 2 years ago, and I walked downstairs and I said, "We gotta have a little talk." It's like Teen Wolf when he starts, like,
Right.
I could just feel them, and it was that familiar, peculiar feeling. And I said, I don't want to freak out. It could be nothing. Be nothing, but I have this condition, and sure enough, like by the end of the night, I was just completely covered. And
What does it look like? Scales?
No, it looks like mosquito bites, except they're all connected. So it's
Okay.
the same reaction. It's your body releasing histamine, which is a triggered response whenever a bee stings you. It's a response to release that histamine to capture the poison. And I could be butchering this. Anybody in the medical community out there, feel free to correct in the notes or whatever. But for what I understand, that histamine release kind of traps the poison to protect your body, but it itches like hell, right? Okay. So my body just releases histamine as if I'm being stung by something all over. And I'll wake up some mornings, my eyes will be swollen shut, my lips, angioedema, but it's just miserable. And the only I'm on a immunosuppressant right now. That seems to be helping. I take Xolair injections.
Does your girlfriend or wife does she ever take it
My wife knows, but my girlfriend doesn't.
Right.
Oh!
Does she take it personal? Like, why am I giving you stress? Huh?
No.
What's
That
so
would
fucking
indicate,
bad?
yeah, that would indicate some modicum of introspective, introspective.
Right.
No. She.
What were
she
you
says, well,
alluding?
what did you eat?
Well, right. What were you alluding to when you said you know things that can make it worse?
Well, primarily stress.
Okay.
I know I have a tendency to hold my breath. I'll just find myself just
Right.
catch my breath. When things are kind of going around, and that's not good for you. It's like the breathing mechanism
It's
is like a
important.
blanket to your body. And when you catch that, your body tends to think something's wrong. And when I'm stressed out, I do it more. I know that. Like lack of sleep, they tend to be worse if I don't sleep well.
Well, also, I mean, it's not like just moving to New York. You're not gonna have the stress of life in general. Peyton's house burned down.
Yeah.
What the fuck? How long ago was this?
That was this past February.
This past February this year. It's October this year. Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus
So we got
Christ.
we got a lot of big anniversaries.
That
Mom
could be
dying, we
hives.
huh?
That could be hives. You know?
They were present and accounted for prior to the fire.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but it hadn't helped. Yeah.
Right.
We had a guy. We bought a condo or I don't know what you call them, townhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a guy, our neighbor with the wall adjacent,
Yeah.
bought the place next door and did a full renovation. So we were listening to jackhammers and all that. And he had a motley crew going in there, man. And they were taking forever. They finally got to where the sheetrock was up. He was almost finished. And I was at a hospital here. We have a bunch of older people, octogenarians, septuagenarians live in our community. And we love it. You feel very, virile. Is that the word?
Sure.
When you
Strong.
live amongst like older people.
Yeah.
It's like you help them with the groceries. You
Yeah,
feel like
they're
a
welcome.
young stud,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so easy. I could have lifted more bags than that, dude.
Look at that. I'm lifting bags for the greatest generation.
That's
Okay.
right. But they are so Southern, and
Right.
this one gentleman down a couple of places down from us, he's awesome. But he sounds like he's straight out of Central Casting, like Foghorn, Leghorn.
Yeah.
And I was at a hospital here dealing with a patient, and he called and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" He goes, "Peyton, you need to get home. Your house is on fire."
Oh, Jesus.
And I said, "Okay." And
Okay. What kind of saying is this? I haven't been here in a while.
yeah, right. Right. Is that racist?
Right.
No, he meant it. It was quite literal. So I flew
Do you know
home.
how it happened? Was it wires, I guess?
Yeah. So the guy next door, his contractors, who it turns out were not licensed or bonded or insured,
Right. Shit.
were doing some soldering up in the attic, and he let a spark or let the torch go or whatever it was. The water was shut off, so they couldn't do anything about it, and it spread. Yeah.
Oh, my God. And literally everything gets burnt.
No.
Okay.
And that's something that I didn't know, man. This is how naive I was about this whole thing, is that once the fire department, they had to come in through our house, so they took hoses up from both ends of our house all the way up to the top to the attic space. We had a third floor that was also had a big attic space that we shared. And so he ended up the fire only hit the third floor, but the water and the smoke ruined everything else. I had no idea. So I'm downstairs as the fire department's leaving. I'm wiping up water with paper towels, and I'm like, oh, I need more than that. So I got regular towels. I'm like, God, I need more than that. I got sheets, and I'm doing it all. And they left, and I called the power company, and I said, can we get our power turned back on? He said, son, go look at your meter outside. And the fire department had pulled the meter because the water was dripping down from the cabinets, so it ruined everything, absolutely everything.
Wow. And what are you supposed to do? Check the meter and what?
Well, they pulled the meter to make sure that nobody, because of the
that nobody
danger
can
of
give
shorts,
electricity.
electrical shorts, or yeah.
And
So
then
they
you
just,
go, okay, so what happens next? I didn't get a, so you just got water and smoke in your house.
yeah, nobody
pamphlet.
told us what to do.
What do you do?
You get an Airbnb,
Okay.
and it was right during Mardi Gras, and so it was very hard. Mobile has a big Mardi Gras scene, and you couldn't get an Airbnb for longer than 2 or 3 nights, and so we were having to relocate every 2 or 3 nights for about 3 weeks. It was awful. It was awful, and then we finally found a place here that we could do long term.
Okay. Did so you have like the memories, the pictures, maybe a photo album. You have that stuff.
That's what hurts the most, man, because I always traveled light, but all my stuff, my studio, my little recording studio, and kind of the man cave was up on the 3rd floor, and that's where all my little knickknacks were, sentimental things, and that's where the fire was. The rest of it, like when my wife and I moved in together, we were waiting on our boxes to arrive, and she had all this nice stuff, multiple boxes and furniture and all that, and said, my stuff will be here soon. It finally came. It was like one of those Rubbermaid bins. Mm-hmm. It had like a Stormtrooper piggy bank in it. It had a Dukes of Hazzard vintage lunchbox, a Frisbee.
God damn it!
And she was like, "This is your stuff?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah. This is my contribution."
Did your place happen to have insurance?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We had good insurance so here's another thing people don't realize. Everything is broken down into, or our policy anyways, like the structural repair and the personal policy, like personal belongings and structural coverage.
Okay.
Our insurance company is doing us a real solid on the structural part. Like we're going to be made whole on that, but the personal belongings, I think we were a bit underinsured.
I see. Because it's harder to prove?
No, it was just what our policy, where we said,
I see.
You can pay for as much coverage as you want, but it's more expensive.
Right.
All right. And who thinks that's going to happen? Now, my stuff, like, but when you start adding it up, it might seem like a lot of money that your coverage is, but then you add up every single box spring and mattress, every single headboard, comforter, sheets, drapes, just everything, TVs, electronics, all of it got ruined. It was just like all ruined. Yeah, and that stuff adds up quick. And I don't know I don't know what enough coverage would be, but we ain't got it. So because they were uninsured, I don't know what's going to happen.
When you buy like a new, I don't know if your place is already, well, Airbnb, this place is furnished, right? Mm-hmm. I was just curious, like, do you buy a new TV and you just start crying? Do you buy a new ironing board and you just break down?
Because I'm glad to have it, or because
shit, I got to do this again?
I don't know. We hadn't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't have anywhere to put anything. When you take a furnished rental, there's no room to put your stuff in there. So we hadn't started any of that.
Did your wife happen to be in New York City when you were? You guys didn't meet them. You only met when you came back to Alabama somehow, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm, that's right.
How'd that go? So she moved from Alabama also?
Mm-hmm. She and I went to different high schools, but they're, 5 miles apart, 4 miles apart from each other. Okay. She was 4 years behind me, so we didn't know each other.
Did you know of each other?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm. That's when you're that age, that's a big enough age gap. Like,
sure,
for the rival school across town a little ways.
It'd be odd, yeah.
Especially if I knew her.
Right.
That would have been red flag. But yeah, so in fact, when we first met, we were there was a big sports bar down here, and I was there watching football with some buddies, and had talked to her a couple of times, and then went over and asked for her number, and she was like, "I don't give my number to guys in bars." And I said, "Well, all the guys are watching. Just write a number on there, please." And she did. I was like, "Put a fake number. I don't care. Put a fake number. Right. I don't care. What do I care?" And she put a number, and I thought it was fake, and I called it the next day, and it was her. So we ended up. We did our first date, and then one of her friends did some digging, and she called my now wife and said, "Don't go out with that guy again. He's lying to you. I got the yearbook, and he ain't in it. He's not who he says he is."
Jesus Christ.
And she had gotten the year wrong. She had gotten a
Right.
year after I graduated.
But who cares anyway? Like that's the fucking smoking gun. There's a yearbook I'm not in at all. Not even the class picture for whatever reason. Like no fucking reference.
It didn't even
me.
say like photo not available.
Right, no, I don't know if I missed that day, somehow didn't get the makeup or the makeup wasn't taken, but no, I do all these different extracurricular activities for whatever
Yeah.
reason that wasn't put in. Just 1 year, I'm not in it. So now don't date the guy.
You were voted most likely to not appear in the yearbook.
It's a weird lie what year you went to a school.
Well, yeah.
I want her
and,
to like me and think we have a past because we lived in the same area. Oh, yeah,
Right.
what year? Oh, 4 years difference. You probably wouldn't even.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, well, and it turned out, she didn't listen to her, obviously.
Right.
We still went out again and we got it cleared up. But yeah, that was,
We got it cleared up.
yeah. I mean, that's how I started my relationship on the wrong foot, right? I'm always like apologizing. I shouldn't have done that. I should have been like, hey, it's me.
You shouldn't have done what?
Allowed that skepticism to affect me instead of being like,
right.
I can prove it. I can prove it. I am me.
I see, right.
These are people. They can vouch for me.
Yeah.
You know-
She'd go back to her friend and be like, what do you have to say for himself? And then she said, what? He said, what? And so I think I'm going to go out with him again.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
How did you end up proposing? Did you go for it? Like knee, everything?
Yeah, knee everything. Yeah. It was during Christmas time, and we do this thing where every year we get each other a Christmas ornament,
Okay.
right? And so I had gotten one engraved that said 2025 or 2023, whatever it was, our first year engaged, and wrote that on it. Right. And so
Okay.
we were exchanging things, and I had gone down the night before, man. I set up the best place to put my iPhone, and so I set that up before she came in the room, and I got, she looked at the thing and she looked over at me and she started crying, and then I got down on the knee and I had the ring and she's, so happy and emotional. After I had arranged to have her parents and my family and, everybody was kind of outside waiting. And so as soon as they got the signal, they all came in, and she was so flummoxed that she was like, what are y'all doing here? Y'all are we just got engaged. And they're like, yeah, we know. That's why
I don't want my intervention now. Don't ruin this.
Right. How many times have I told you, don't do the intervention until you clear it? Well, so then I go back to look at the video, man, and I'd set it on, I've never done this before or since. I set it on like high speed, man. So the whole thing is like, it's like, and so, that's ruined. But, yeah.
Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Did you met her in 2019?
Yeah,
Is that right?
I think it was 2019. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's keep COVID in mind. Next thing you know, if you're following these rules, you guys are really around each other a lot. And I used to say like, hey, before you get married, maybe go camp and see what the person's really like. Camping or COVID is a good test.
Yeah. Really cuts out some of the question marks.
Right.
Well, and see, she and I, despite our relatively conservative surroundings now, she and I moved in together really quickly because of that New York mentality, right? Like it's a financial decision more than a romantic one.
Right.
And so we were full on, husband and wife without the paperwork during COVID, but still relatively new to one another,
Right. And maybe it's good to get those tests out of the way. How do you load a fucking dishwasher?
Yeah.
I want to know all about you.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. That's something. Thinking about like my parents, they wouldn't have moved in together until they were married. Like, man, that's all in your fucking face at once.
It's such a
you
bad
don't know
idea.
If you like this, yeah.
It's such a bad idea. The only problem is, it makes sense in theory. You get to know the person, and then it's not as complicated if it's not going to work out. But you don't really get to know them.
I think so too.
Until you're living together.
Yeah, I think so too. I saw this story. It's speaking about going back home. At 73 years old, This person, Carl Erickson, shot and killed his former classmate, Norman Johnson, 72 years old, over a 50-year-old grudge. In high school, Johnson had humiliated Erickson by pulling an undergarment over his head. Decades later, Erickson went to Johnson's home, confirmed his identity, and shot him twice in the face with a 45. So yeah, you got to be careful, bullies. They don't. It never ends. I want to fight two of my bullies now for charity. You have to say for charity.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm ready now.
You look good. You look fit. You look ready.
I was a pussy before. Now I'm set. Now I'm ready.
It's funny. What defense do you get? Like the plea insanity by reason of atomic wedgie.
Right.
Like how do you? If the judge, it really depends on if the judge was cool in high school or if he was bullied.
Right.
You might walk on that if his name's like Poindexter. Your Honor Poindexter.
This guy gets embarrassed like Tim Robinson's fake character, like there was a bra on my head. Pops, that was 5 decades ago. Oh, bra, but I was a man. Tomorrow is the No Kings March. You excited?
I am, yeah. I'm not going to be able to attend.
Well, you're busy.
And it's been hard. We have kind of this small little bastion of, more left-leaning friends that we're all very proud of ourselves.
Sure,
we're very, very smug.
Rightly so, though. Rightly so. But now we're look smug because we're not into Nazis too much.
Right.
So elite.
So they've all been asking, "Am I going? Am I going?" And my wife and I, we just had our 2-year anniversary on Tuesday.
Congrats!
And since we were dealing with my mother last year, we didn't do anything for the 1-year anniversary. So we got a little hotel at Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
Okay.
Which is supposed to be a beautiful little town.
Okay.
So I'm not going to be here, and I not because I don't care, though.
Right. Your spirit will be there. You understand. Okay. Human rights. All right. Whatever. You didn't celebrate a wedding before. Come on.
Right. I just have this thing about pepper spray.
President Donald Trump announced the deal to offer common fertility drugs at steep discounts through Trump RX, a direct-to-consumer drug platform set to launch in January. The initiative is part of a broader effort to expand access to in vitro fertilization and reduce its cost, though key details about its implementation remain unclear. Well, of course, there's never any details. This is what you want? This is what Republicans want? Government, stay out of my business. How do I get my drugs? Through me, through Trump RX. I want these fertilization-type drugs, etc. Meanwhile, I know your thoughts on them, this government. Why would I want to be on your fucking data list? That's crazy. You know what? No kings? I don't know. I look around. Maybe kings? It seems a lot of people are thinking maybe kings.
Yeah, everything you're saying is right.
Some Republican, a congressman, Dave Taylor, he's doing some kind of Zoom meeting. There happens to be the American flag behind him. It's small on a corkboard, but the stripes turn into the Nazi symbol in the middle. And if you give it a good look, you see it. You don't need a magnifying glass.
Is it like one of those magic eye things where you have to stare at it?
No, it's very, very clear. And then he's like, oh, it must have been a Democrat that put this flag on my like. You don't even know this also, anyways. You don't. No, I just sat down and I do my shit. I was saying the other day about I was leaving the movie theater and some guy was like a mile ahead of me, holds the door open for me, and I hate that. Of course, it happens to all of us. It's like, do I have to jog now? I'll be okay when I get there. But he just waits and waits till finally I get there and I go, thanks, and he goes, you're welcome. And right there, I want to fucking chop heads, because now, when does it end now? You're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. And thank you. And even as a waiter, I would never say, thank you. They're like, you're great service. And I'd be like, of course. Or, my pleasure. Or forget about it. Or shut your fucking mouth already. But no, I hate the you're welcome so much. I'm reading right here. It's at a PetSmart. A woman held the door open for another woman, but was upset that the woman didn't say thank you to the person holding the door, so shot her in the face. Yeah, but you're up for politeness, but if the person can't be polite enough to say thank you, you're dead. Because then you don't get to say you're welcome. They took that away from you, that right.
It's transactional manners.
I like that's something you got to ask on a first date. Say thank you for something and check out the response. It's just something innocuous, not like paying the bill. Like I don't know what, but yeah, see if you get a "you're welcome." That's important. That's important. Hey, check this out. By the way, speaking of assholes, tell me what you think about this. So, our buddy Danny Vega has a podcast called "Am I the Asshole?" And he reads from, the Reddit thread, and we determine, him and the guest determine who's really the asshole in this story. He put out a show that I did with him some time ago. I don't know if it was a year ago or so. He put it on his Patreon. Now he put it on his live feed. Here's the introduction that Danny gave. You tell me what you think.
Guys, this is a special ad-free episode with a trigger warning. Some people don't like Keith. Some people find him offensive. I'll be the first to say this is not a beacon of progressive enlightenment. I just think Keith is funny, and he's my friend. And actually, a lot of people thought this episode was really funny. And at the time, I was too much of a coward to put it out. So here it is. It's not going to solve any of the world's problems. It's just two guys being dudes, okay? And I'm giving it to you ad-free. And I do that because, look, you could have heard this episode already if you were on the Patreon. And now you can experience what it's like to have accurate timestamps, no ads. So I hope you enjoy the app. And either way, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. So, all right, much love. Bye.
What the fuck?
There's a lot to unpack there.
There is.
A lot to unpack.
And I reheard this show today. There's nothing I'm so fucking crazy or unwoke about. What? Hey, guys, welcome to the show. Here's Keith. I know you hate him. I know he probably says, the F word. Yeah. But you know what? This is just pure fun. And I think we can enjoy ourselves today, even though, yes, it's shitbird Malley, and he will offend, but if somehow you can hide in a closet by yourself, you might chuckle.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And I remember this show, and I'm thinking, like, what could I have said? I remember one fake argument was about a guy had a renovated his building so he's a landlord, one building. Mm-hmm. Then his sister ended up telling a blind friend that she had that has a dog that he just has to show up to be seen, but he can have the apartment. He can have her brother's apartment. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So, but she was the guy that was going to get the apartment is blind, has a seeing eye dog, and the guy wrote, "Hey, am I an asshole? I don't think she's mad at me because I won't give it to this blind person." Well, I'm not. My place. The other people understand that we can't have dogs. A, B. I found out that she's extra upset because she promised the place to him. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, you didn't have that right, and now she feels like she's looked at bad because, hey, you should have let this guy come in with a fucking dog. Sure. And he thought, like, I'm not into these laws about ramps and shit. That's the only thing I was thinking that could be. Real quick,
I don't think that they're presented as an option, these ramps and shit.
Right.
It's like the Americans with Disabilities Act,
Right.
But yeah.
But he can, it's easier. He only has one place. It's easier for him to, control a thing, sure. Whether it's right or wrong. But anyway, we disagreed on that. And I was kind of afraid this was going to happen because if you hear that, I kind of go after him. He's not really listening to my point, I feel like. And I'm like, you fucking idiot. How about this, blah, blah, blah. You dumb fuck. And that came from an energy that was ramping up of something he took out of the show. And that was about, am I the asshole? Somebody wrote, because my girlfriend was coming from the bar and wanted me on the phone to feel safe, but I had to get up for work early in the morning, and I told her, no, I can't keep her company. And I'm like, yeah, you could, if it's 5-10 minutes, which it sounds like it is, yes, you could be on the phone. And if you want to have a serious discussion another time that she has a drinking problem that it didn't sound like from the person writing this, then do that. But yes, you should be on the phone. He's like, really? I don't fucking get why. And it's like, if she said, can I come over for 5-10 minutes and blow you? Would that ruin how tired you would be the next day? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
His girlfriend happened to be in the room when we were recording, Danny Vegas, the host. And after the show, she got so fucking really mad at him overhearing, being like, you wouldn't pick up the phone if I was drunk and blah, blah, blah. And then he started looking like an asshole in his relationship. So he took that out of the show. But now I'm ramping up at Danny as if we didn't already have an earlier discussion, probably more than I would otherwise. And he's the one that obviously was wrong when it comes in regards to this show, but he had to start the show where I'm an asshole. Is that more for his girlfriend? Like, for example, I got into a fight with my buddy Craig because he goes, I can't believe you put this out. Of the show, me saying something about my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're the one who said it, though.
Right.
This thought. He's like, yeah, but you should have known better. And I think the anger at me was to show the girlfriend, look, I'm angry at him. And I think that's what Danny did. Not to that. Well, now, the other one's more egregious. Me and Danny are fine for real, but it's just a funny introduction.
It is a funny introduction, and it's contradictory throughout. You know,
right.
Like it's hard to determine: is he apologizing? Is he?
He's not. He's apologizing on my behalf.
On your behalf, but also telling people like, "Hey, this thing's just lighten up. If you have a problem with it, it's on you." But I also understand why you would have a problem. I mean, it's Keith. Like everybody has a problem with him. You know, like a lot of mixed messages there.
Right. Anyways, that show's out now. I told him I'd mention it, so there you go. Am I the Asshole? The podcast. You can check it out. Let's see here. Ace Frehley passed away. The great. He did financial. He was a financial genius for Dunkin' Donuts, if you remember.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Hey, Ace.
J&M reports.
I got your fucking P&L statement. Okay, Ace, Dunkin' Donuts for normal people. But yes, he passed away. He was told that if he does the commercial, he gets a lifetime of free cold brews, and he thought that meant beers. But it was just, turns out it was just
Is that real?
Coffee. No, that's probably not real. On September 25th, Ace Frehley fell in his home studio twice and was forced to cancel upcoming tour dates. On October 16th, TMZ reported that he had been on life support and a ventilator due to brain bleeding caused by his fall. They repeated that his family considered moving him from life support after his health failed to improve. He died in Morristown, New Jersey, age 74. His former KISS bandmates, Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons, paid tribute, saying he's an essential and irreplaceable rock soldier. We replaced him, but irreplaceable, kind of like. I remember my buddy.
That's
brother
almost as backhanded as your intro to that podcast.
Right, my buddy brother Love. This is years ago, but he finished the gig and he's like just kind of. I think it was in Hell's Kitchen, and he's coming home and he sees Ace Frehley, a hero of his, kind of empty streets. Going through payphones, trying to get change. Like he saw him go through, he's like following him a little bit, sees him go to like 3 payphones, like Ace, the great Ace Frehley. And you're like, oh, God damn it, that's kind of sad. Brother
Never
Love's
meet
like,
your heroes.
Right. Brother Love's like, I still got to say something, you know. And he said, hey, just want to say you're probably the reason I got into music. And things wouldn't be going well if it wasn't for you. I don't think I would have been my head necessarily in this space. I love you, and I just wanted to say that. All right, take care. And he goes, Ace Frehley goes, oh, that's fucking great. You got $1. Brother Love's like, God damn it. And he gave him a couple bucks. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Let me know if you're good on time.
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah? Okay, because we got to talk about this recent job interview I did. And oh my God, if you heard Tim's show, it was as bad as I described it. So there's this outdoor place and they teach kayaking and all this shit. And I thought they were hiring managers. I like the price, benefits. I'm like, and I think it'd be fun to learn outdoor shit. I was never raised learning how to do anything. And, you know, and so I'm like, all right, this will be exciting. I can't swim. I can't anything. I'm like, this sounds like a fun thing I'm not going to tell him I can't swim, but this will be a fun job. Anyways, he's like, oh, where are you coming from? And I'm like, oh, I live 5 minutes away. He's like, oh, which direction? I'm like, well, that can't be good if I'm talking about working in the great outdoors. Where do you live? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I'm 5 minutes away. And then, like I said, like, oh, well, that can't be, that's got to be a good thing, right? If I first question, I don't know where I live. And he's like, no, actually, it's not. But anyway, I'm like, well, I know it's not. I don't really mean.
Yeah.
Right there,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
should have. Right there, I should have left. When I bring up a comedy podcast, maybe I should have had a joke ready. I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, tell me a joke. I don't know.
Right.
I'm not again. I'm not turning this into a comedy club. I'm just telling you what I've been up to and why I don't have references like normal people for 2 decades.
Sure. Well, and what podcast does he listen to where they just like do set up punchline jokes
Right.
over and over again for 2 hours? Like we're gonna have to take a commercial break. But
He goes, I don't really follow that stuff. What don't you like in the comedy community? And I'm like, okay, well, I happen to, what do you talk? What's the last thing you talked about on your show? I'm like, okay, it happened to be the Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival, and I say something to the effect of, and comedians, it's just funny. They're so into free speech and the arbiters of truth and the new Socrates. But next thing you know, they're going to take money from from a fucking evil place. I didn't say fucking. From what I think is an evil place, and but will definitely censor themselves because they're being
if the money's right
from them. If the money's right, then it's all out the window. Otherwise, meanwhile, I just think they're talking about free speech because they want to say the R word. And the guy goes, "Oh, what's the R word?" And I go, "Oh, no, what I'm saying." It's just funny to me, interesting that free speech, but they don't care about rights or marginalized people. They care about like saying the R word. And he goes, "What's the R word?" What? I never heard the R word. I'm like, let's fucking kill myself is the R word.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
And I go, and I just said, you know what? It's best. Anyway, next question.
Well, so you just you stayed in there. You kept riding the bull. The bull kept trying to throw you, and at no point did it occur to you to say, you know what, this isn't working. Let me save both of our times and just skedaddle. Get on down.
Looking back, it felt like 2 hours, but it was probably pretty fast just the same.
Yeah. It sounds like he doesn't have the people skills to conduct an interview.
I hope, but it is what I understand is the regular dumb questions. What are you worse at? What's a foible of yours? What questions do you have for me? But I haven't done interviewing in so fucking long, been interviewed, that I thought I didn't think I'd have to prepare. I had a resume that was good, but I didn't think I had to prepare for those stupid questions. I thought it would just come. And so I had nothing to say when they're like, what questions do you have for me? And I'm like, no questions. I know the fucking pay. I know the benefits. I know what the job requires. That'd be dumb to have. Is Christmas off okay? It'd be dumb to have a fucking question when I'm the one who came to you.
Yeah.
What's your biggest negative thing if you had to say? I pilfer. I'll probably steal some paper for my work. I might even get a printer that's the same as mine so I can take an ink home once or twice. Well, you can't do that. I know, it's a foible.
Yeah, right. And here I am again.
Right. Now, I know there's some kind of trick where my negative is that I'm too into work. It might affect my family.
Yeah. I've never known how to answer that one. But I can say this, man. I found myself doing the job interview thing for the first time when I moved back down here in a corporate setting sort of thing. Right. There was one time, and this is kind of parallel to you, the Patagonia on the Upper West Side. Okay. A friend of ours worked there, and myself and another Auburn theater grad, we both went in for a job interview.
That's a camping place. I should have done that. If he mentions like Patagonia or something, I'm like, that's a brand.
Yeah. And a forest.
Right.
But we both, we went in there, and I was probably 23, something like that, 24. And he asked me that question, what's your biggest weakness? And man, I just turned that into a therapy session, man. Like I just was like, oh man, you wouldn't know, man. I have, first of all, I hate my father, I think, but I love him. But and we went on this whole thing. And so after my friend got off her shift, she called me and the other girl that went in for her interview. She was like, what the fuck's wrong with the two of y'all? I said, what? She said, the interviewer said both of you just treated it like a therapy session through the whole thing, and she left wanting to hug both of you, not hire you, but hug you. But since I've gotten better since then, and I will say, no job interview. I'm not removing all culpability from you for preparedness,
Thank you.
but first of all, he may have been playing you. Like, what's the R word? Can I make him say it?
I thought that too, but who gives a shit?
But no.
So what am I gonna do? Like, I won't say it, but you know.
Yeah, right. But no interview have I ever had to point to the direction of a compass and describe, 30
Where I came
furlongs
from.
that way, 25 paces where the crow flies.
Right. I know. I said I know how to get here.
Yeah,
We're not having canoe lessons at my house.
that's right. That's right. But I guess if you tip the canoe and were charged with getting them back to safety, maybe some
Right.
semblance of. It's hard to say, but I think you win. I think you dodged a bullet.
What's I mean, even if he now called me and said, you know what, we heard your show, you're a normal fucking person, come on in. I'm like, I don't think I can ever see you again. I don't think I could look you in the fucking eye. Any questions? Yeah, if I catch someone shoplifting, what do I do? Like, well, I said this the other day, but I've had that even like as a waiter interview. It's like, do you have any questions? No, I'm not going to bring up how often can I, switch my shift with somebody.
Right,
We'll
right.
see what happens when the time comes. I'm not going to ask you, do you put peas in your Alfredo sauce? You will tell as you talk to me throughout the job. I will have a question. Promise.
Yeah, it's that easy. It's that easy.
What's your POS system? Who cares? Whatever it is, I'm going to fucking do it. I remember this is years ago, but I talked about showing up at an Applebee's job and they were opening up a store. So, they're doing the mass training. And it's like, any questions? Somebody goes, what's the outfit going to be that we wear? Who gives a shit? Oh, green, I'm out. I'm sorry. I'm too smart for questions right now.
Well, the psychological, what are they getting at with that question? Like, do you have any other questions? Is it
like a resume that, like those resumes that they give you and you have to fill out, for menial jobs. And it says, have you had any, arrests? And then the little statement, this might not matter. Well, then why'd you ask? Is it like that? And it's like, hey, tell me your worst thing. I steal from work. Okay, glad I asked. Goodbye.
Yeah. Now,
no, you look
in a
like an asshole.
hypothetical,
Just go nothing. Yeah.
in a hypothetical, if I said there were bodies under the boards of my house, is that going to affect my future employment here? That's a question.
I'm going to go to ChatGPT. What should I say in a job interview is my weakest trait? Honestly, you have no weak traits, it says. No. Good question. That's one of the trickiest interview topics. Here's one. Sometimes I spend too much time making sure every detail is perfect. Yeah, of course, right?
Do they want to hear that? Does that help?
I've been working on balancing that by setting time limits for reviews so I stay efficient while still keeping my standards high. I guess that's what you do, just these word salad bullshits. And I guess it just says, are you willing to play the game? I'm going to ask you dumb shit. Did you prepare dumb shit to respond to? This is that chat. That means that you will show up at work on time. You could follow instructions no matter how simple, you'll take them seriously. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just like, did you follow the rules on the high school paper? All you had to do was, the main job was where you put your name on the top right side in this class.
Right. Well, let me say this. My wife, when, she had much more real world employment experience than I did, right? And I had a job interview when we were first together, and she said, "How did it go?" I said, "Well, it was fine." And she said, "Well, where's the guy from?" And I said, "I don't know." And she beat into my head that day, like, you're supposed to do this like ample amount of research on the person who's interviewing you. And I thought, well, that's so stupid because I'm meeting him. I don't know him. I don't pretend to know him. And I'll tell you something, she wasn't wrong, because every job interview that I've done since then, I've done just a little bit of research and you found a way to work it into the conversation. And when I started doing that, there's yet to be a job that I've applied for that I hadn't gotten, because they all step back and they say, well, look who's got the internet.
Right.
You know, like
Right,
they're just
right.
like blown away that I took time to see that he went to, Yale or Duke or whatever the hell and, said, go Blue Devils and you're hired.
Right.
It makes me not want the job more, but
Right.
it's the game you were talking about. Are you willing to jump through the stupid hoops to get the
Yeah.
stupid job?
Yeah, do something humbling. Public speaking used to make me nervous as an example that ChatGPT gave. I've been building confidence by volunteering to lead team updates and practicing in smaller settings. So bring up something, but also say you're over it.
Right.
Like I wasn't a good worker, but now I am. That's the worst thing I have going.
Yeah, I'd like to. I think you should practice just leaving it there. Like, it's a problem. I know it's a problem, but we're not doing anything about it.
Interviewing is my problem.
Right. I'm not a good interviewer.
Do you have any questions?
I'm afraid of canoes.
You and your wife run the business. How'd you meet?
Right.
Somebody told me you say the question you ask them, it seems like it's always worked for them, which is funny. They said always worked. How many times going to work? You know what I mean?
Right.
How many jobs you getting? But said, yeah, my question to you is what 3 things are you looking for in a candidate? And then when you go home and you send a thank you letter for their time, you add in those 3 things that you happen to have. And I'm like, okay, if they have Alzheimer's,
Right.
I wouldn't be tricked.
Yeah. Well, you said how many times could they do it if always, but going back and listening to the episode with Tim, I loved when he said, I'm really good at interviewing.
Right.
I'm not a good employee, but I'm good at interviewing.
Right.
And, so I could see he probably interviews quite frequently because if you can't keep the job, once you get the job, you got to get another job.
I'm good at jobs. I'm not good at the interviewing part, and vice versa.
Yeah, right. If y'all could just get together.
It's a catch-22. Which guy do you want?
He's better off. At least he gets a paycheck for a little while.
I knew this interview went so fucking bad that I know to send a thank you note afterwards. It didn't even cross my fucking mind. I'm like, I'm not seeing you again. I don't think I can go to this area of town ever again.
Yeah.
He wrote me back a week later. Hey, Keith, I hope you're well. I wanted to thank you for taking the time to come in and chat about the story and the position. I wanted to follow up and let you know we have decided to move in another direction. I'll be sure to check out your podcast. Oh, boy. Come by and see us sometime. Regards. I should have wrote back, you're welcome. And I wrote this back for real. I wrote, can you imagine if it blew my mind? And I was like, what? Thank you again for your time. And I'll definitely be checking the store out more. Best, Keith. Best as in I'm the best. He wrote back, thanks for understanding. Take care.
Wait, you did write I'm the best?
No, just best, Keith. But
what did he write about?
That I wrote, can you imagine if it blew my mind? And I was like, what? I'm not hired? You're fucking kidding me. Of course, it was a mess. I was there, you were there. And he goes,
okay, you
thanks
did
for
write that part.
Okay.
Okay.
But he knows it was horrible. A follow-up letter couldn't have helped,
Yeah, that's great. It's like all of a sudden he found a sense of humor.
Right.
Now that you're done and getting the rejection letter, now he gets all the jokes.
Now he's funny.
Yeah.
You were a real R word that day.
Yeah.
Well, the what?
And I've known R words my whole life.
I work with
you,
many
sir,
of them.
you're the Rist.
I want to look around this place and just point to somebody and go, I can do that. They got, what did they say in an interview? Look at them. I've been watching them for 10 fucking minutes. They're hired.
Yeah.
What did they do? So I'm in this back office. The store is very nice. The back office is pretty shitty. And the chair that I was sitting on was missing a back. The felt's coming off. All this shit. It has me sit on that. I couldn't help but think, is that a test? He said, shit's kind of back here, kind of just put together haphazardly. And I'm sure I said, okay. Or no problem. But was I supposed to be like, not even rustic, fascinating? What was I supposed to mention? Like, my first job would be getting you a new chair. That'd be my first job.
I got to tell you, man, this guy's an enigma. I don't know. I don't know the answer to any of this. I feel like he's either just so on top of it that he had you pinned before you even walked in.
Right.
Or he's a real R word. I don't know. I can't tell.
I did ask the audience, do you perform well while being sit-down interviewed for a job you want? 80% said no. That makes me feel better. 80% of people listening says, no, I'm not good when I'm being sit-down interviewed. Like, tell me about yourself. Like, okay.
Okay, not that they're better standing.
Not that, well, I'm picturing how many interviews are standing like that, and
That's what I was wondering.
You probably get right away at like an ice cream shop,
Yeah. Okay, so just the interview process in general,
Yeah.
are they good at it? And 80% said no?
Said no, and I remember in New York City, my first job happened to be manager at. I always go for manager. What are you gonna do? I don't think they'd take me seriously being of a certain age if I didn't. And it was place was called Little Things in Park Slope, Brooklyn, fancy place, and that they sold toys for children, but the toys were like a literal block for $40, like a little block you would play with, but you need more for this kid, something like that. Anyway, he has the resume. He's like, "Oh, where's your last job at?" And I tried to sneak a look at the resume, like, "Oh, I forget." I forget what bullshit I wrote down.
Let me see that back real quick. Let me have a look.
I told Tim, I'm like, I got to get better at these fucking interviews. He said, like learning where you live. I mentioned how I play Madden, and I never won a game yet. The Xbox Madden game, because either they're too good, or if I do any good, they rage quit. I was playing the other day, and I got it. I didn't win, but I got a kick return. I ran the ball the whole fucking way. That's pretty impressive. How do I put that in the resume?
Other skills, I think.
I took Eagles for a chance to win because they're scored the best in that game. And I'm a Steelers fan, though, and the opponent happened to pick the Steelers. So I'm thinking that fail of losing the game taught me that even if I'm playing against myself, I can still get better and beat myself to be a better version of myself, while I could still be proud of an amazing, perfect kick return. That'd be a good story, right?
Yeah. I'd hire you. I'd hire you.
Foibles, taught me I need to familiarize myself with the double tap field goal bullshit that they do, right? I would have won. I was a CHOA, that's corporate for cunt here. But I almost won the fucking game.
Yeah.
Now, my question for you. Your wife is the co-owner. What's the last fight you had?
Yeah.
At work or at home? You tell me. And then just cross my legs.
Judgy. Be all
Right.
judgy. Yeah.
My question to you, why are you so fucking great? What do you look for? Then I'm all those three things.
Yeah.
What's the thing?
Right. If you'll just write me out a list of what you want me to be, I'll lie to you, because I'm lying anyway. These are all lies.
I'm gonna
except
go
the Madden part.
I have to go on another interview. This was just a whim, but this is gonna haunt me.
I think they need to be filmed.
I'm gonna film them, and I'll probably get the first one right away because I'll be filming and not give a fuck.
Right.
They're like, I like your attitude. You were thinking too much before. How about this? Tell me a joke, and I just go, the aristocrats. And if they don't think that's funny, that's not the place for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a goodbye. Oh well, yeah. I'll be like a reverse secret shopper. I'm judging them. Then I go.
Yeah.
I have a card that says "You've been interviewed" without the "e" at the end, like punked with a
yeah.
I slam it down. You've been interviewed. Like, oh. Maybe they'll get a decent chair from now on.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think you should take any. You shouldn't let this interrupt your sleep.
Kind of does.
Nah, this is on him. This is all on him.
I appreciate
I'm like your mother. Who couldn't like my boy?
Maybe I bring up Tim Diamond will bring up his dad died at a young age, drowning, trying to save his brother of all things. But he likes bringing that up so people feel bad. Should I bring up my mom during an interview? Like,
you got to try it.
My mom would have loved you, but anyways.
Yeah.
Hospice stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Who hired
It paints them in a corner because they can't be mean to you after that.
How about after an interview, I go, who hired you? I'd like to talk to them.
Right.
I bet I'd pass with them. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Peyton, you seem happy. Would you say you're happy? 1 to 10?
Yeah, I'd give it a 7. I need
Okay.
more. I need more creative in my life, and I'm working on it. I want to make my living doing. Life is short. I want to, at least supplement a major part of my income with learning to create stuff.
Right.
I've been working in advertising, writing creative content for
okay.
it. Voiceover work, things like that. I really enjoy that stuff. It's like I think they say you found what you're doing when time kind of jumps. And when I go in to record or to edit or anything like that, it's like I look up and it's 3:00 in the morning before I know it. Right. That's yeah. So I give it a 7 out of 10 right now.
Okay.
And as soon as I can, start using this noggin a little bit more towards fulfilling occupation. I don't know what words I'm saying right now, but you get what I'm saying, man.
If you're happy, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm happy. It's a 7. Fuck it, right?
Are you getting some at home?
Sexual intercourse?
I don't want to be crass pussy.
Yeah. All married people do, right?
Hello.
Yeah. That's why we're going to Mississippi. It's legal there. It's not, even when you're married, it's not legal here.
I see this, by the way, on ChatGPT. What would I ask the employer for a question? They're like, oh, excellent. Asking a good question at the end of the interview shows confidence, curiosity, and genuine interest. Here's some things. What does a typical day look like for someone in this position? Shouldn't I already know?
I would say you have no clue. You had no clue what a typical day in a kayak store looks like. You don't. I can tell you don't. And we hadn't spoken in some time.
How would you describe the ideal person for this job? I'll go, and then whatever they say, check, check. That is correct. You know what? I'm going to give you my thank you letter right now while I'm here because this really
should we
worked out.
negotiate salary now or wait?
Right. What's right? Hey, what's your policy on personal phone calls if they're semi-important?
Right.
Yeah. If I know how to judge it, I could do that, right?
Yeah.
I'm a normal human being. I know when it's too much, right? You trust
like,
me.
are there any questions to be like, does this look infected? You know, and just kind of.
If I'm sick, should I still come into work? Just some questions I have to ask you. Anything else the audience should know, Peyton?
Oh no, the audience should know to just love one another.
Oh yes.
And I am so thrilled to be back on air with you, man. It's really been the highlight of my at least month.
I'll take it. It's the end of the month. I'll take it.
And I would venture to say several months. But I've had a lot of calamity recently too. So
sure. Well, this is more right. I'm lucky.
I've had my house burned down, my mother died, and I'm covered in hives. But you, Keith, are the top of all those.
A good handshake would have blown your mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. It's good seeing you, and let's keep in touch for real.
I look forward to it. Thanks for having me.
Later, buddy.